Back here live outside Empower Field this morning. As I mentioned, it's pretty quiet. We know the stadium discouraged anyone without a concert ticket from tailgating today and standing outside the field listening to her music. Gates will open here at 2:30, or the parking lot, I should say, will open at 2:30. So we will see some tailgaters for sure, but most of them with the concert tickets. Now, we already saw the frenzy here yesterday when merchandise sales began. People lining up as early as 3 in the morning to get their hands on some limited edition merch. Many of them telling us that they had to do it yesterday because they didn't want to miss a single song by buying stuff during the concerts Friday or Saturday. And Air Tracker actually flew above the lines out there. The heat, though, yesterday, we know it was in the 90s. Denver Fire said they had to treat 8 people for heat-related illnesses. One person was sent to the hospital because of that. And water was going for $8 a bottle at one point. Taylor Swift fans told us it was worth it.
You don't even understand. The excitement is so exciting. Crazy.
Months worth.
Months.
Outfits, nails, you know, nails
bracelets.
were done a week ago. Bracelets, we have put in work for these friendship bracelets for
hours.
She's been going at it for weeks.
Waiting in a queue to get the tickets.
Oh my gosh,
getting
we
skipped
skipped
school for like
classes.
7
The
hours
fight?
in the queue line.
Oh yeah, we went home for
Ticketmaster
lunch at
fight.
school. The war.
Did she just compare it to fighting a war? So I think we should remind people, you know, expect hot weather today. Please bring water if you're coming out early for the concert, and make sure you have everything you need to stay safe in the heat, sunscreen, all of that. Veronica Acosta was at the first stop on Taylor Swift's tour this year near Phoenix. And Veronica, we want to get some of your perspective on this. What should we expect to happen here in our city?
Gosh, that show was back in March, and that feels like a lifetime ago. Seriously, it feels like I can barely even remember how it went. But I'll tell you this about the show. Fans are probably like my sister and I did back in March, getting up really early and getting dressed immediately, putting on whatever costumes they decided to dress up in, whatever era they're going for, and either get down to Empower Field this morning, or they're gonna get some food in them so that they are able to withstand the show that they're about to get. So it is quite a show, and I know a lot of people who have been or have been seeing the videos know this already, but it's about 3 hours and 15 minutes long, if I remember correctly, so not short by any means. This is video of the merch lines yesterday. We just can't get enough of this. Those lines, very similar to what I saw back in Glendale all of those months ago. So it tracks on to be pretty expected now for what every show kind of looks like. Everybody really wants to get their hands on some of that merch. I'll tell you though, before you get down to Empower Field, if you are coming today, you have to remember that first order of business is actually getting here. If you are going to drive, which we ended up driving to that March show, it ended up working out for us, but it worked a little bit differently. Just know that you're gonna have to buy your parking pass before you actually get to Empower Field. That's really big. You can always take the RTD trains. We know that RTD decided to add way more train cars to accommodate all of those Swifties, so that's really great news. And then unfortunately, we also know that thousands of fans weren't able to get their hands on tickets. There was just such high demand for these, and the prices, of course, also so high for those resale tickets. So there are going to be different events near Empower Field if you want to come by and listen. I know Empower Field telling fans not to tailgate in the parking lot, but Raíces Brewery, not too far from here, they're going to be having kind of a Taylor event, so you can always go there. Brooklyn's also not too far from here. That's another option. But again, we want to talk about those Swifties who weren't able to get their hands on tickets. Some of them still crossing their fingers, guys.
As of right now, we are on the adventure to get me a ticket, but I am along for the ride and would happily be here.
And that's one of the many who I'm sure are just saying, we're going to wait outside, cross our fingers, try to get those last minute, maybe cheaper tickets, so hopefully they're able to do that. One piece of advice for everyone: if you aren't coming to the Taylor Swift concert, I would say just stay away, because it is going to be so packed here, especially once that show ends about 11:15. Once 11:30, 11:40 comes around, this place is likely going to be a madhouse, as all of those people are trying to get home, whether it's by Uber, by car or by train. Nicole?
Oh yeah. That's of course not the only thing going on in Denver tonight and this weekend either, Veronica. So we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But it's going to be crowded. Yeah, if you don't like crowds, avoid downtown this weekend for sure. We've been talking a lot about this concert. Some people wondering why. What is the big deal? We do want to tell you why this is such a big deal. It really is a humongous economic impact, as we've seen in other cities where Taylor has been. Taylor Swift herself is really a one-of-a-kind artist here. I want to run down some facts and figures here. She was the first singer to ever have a song, every one of her songs, I should say, in the top 10 at one time. That was last October. She's had 41 top 10 hits. 190 songs have made the top 100. She's had 46 Grammy nominations. She's won 12, and she is the only woman solo artist ever to win the Grammy for Album of the Year 3 times. So we are putting her in the same category as Michael Jackson or the Beatles, if you will. Yes, even the Beatles. We talked to a professor at American University who saw the Beatles, and he's seen Taylor Swift.
I got to see the Beatles in 1965 at Shea Stadium, and it was an amazing experience. 60,000 people screaming, shouting, seeing Taylor Swift having built her career. She's almost at that same level. The frenzy around it, people having to be inside and getting to see the show. I'm sure, though, that there are plenty of fans who, when they can't get a ticket, will be camped outside just to be as close as they can.
Yeah, one thing that has changed big time, he told us that back in 1965, that ticket at Shea Stadium cost $5. Even with inflation, that would only be about $50 today. So a huge difference in ticket prices, which is sad because, we limit some fans from being able to see their favorite performers. But those ticket prices are coming down a little as we get closer to the concert time at 6:30 tonight. Brian, I know you've been keeping an eye on that, and an hour before the show might be the best time to buy.
Yeah, ticket prices may have changed. The screams from inside the stadium will probably be about the same as they were for the Beatles. All right, thank you, Nicole. If you still haven't gotten your tickets yet and you want to go, you are in luck because there are some available, but it is going to cost you a pretty penny as we take a look at the top 3 ticket selling websites this morning: StubHub, SeatGeek, and TickPick. And here's what we found just in the last few minutes. Now, these prices have actually come down from yesterday, so who knows what they'll look like later in the day. But right now, StubHub $764, SeatGeek $729, TickPick $890. That includes fees in that price. Also pay attention to where you're sitting for this ticket price, because some of them are actually tucked behind the stage, but at least you can say you were there. And it might be a delicate balance of when to buy, because TickPick says prices typically drop in the last hour before the show if you want to take your chances, but be careful waiting for the deal.
With most of the stops throughout the tour, we've seen the biggest price drop on the first night relative to the second night. What we are seeing is a lot of individuals are just waiting to see how the market reacts, our prices dropping, and then they think that same drop is going to happen on the second night, but you have way more potential buyers on that second night versus if you were to make that purchase the first night.
All right, so some decisions to make if you still want to go. TickPick says to look at the fees associated with the tickets as well. TickPick includes fees in their prices and show you that up front. Other companies can add fees of up to 30 to 40%. The big ticket prices bring us to our Denver 7 viewer poll question this morning. We want you to weigh in here. What would you be most likely to spend more than $500 to see? Would it be another big name concert like Taylor Swift, maybe a major sporting event like the Super Bowl, live theater event, Broadway show perhaps, or would you just treat yourself to a fancy dinner, a spa day, or save the money? You can weigh in right now at denver7.com/vote now, or scan the QR code on your screen to weigh in, and we'll be following these results throughout the morning. Also, on our website, you can learn more about the Taylor Swift concert parking information, the other transportation options in and around the stadium. We also have a list of Colorado activities to match every Taylor Swift era. I'm still learning about those. You can find that and more at denver7.com/entertainment.